When I call the Shadow Minister.
Thanks very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. Madam Deputy Speaker, within my electorate of Deakin and indeed throughout Australia, people are suffering a cost of living crisis that I have not seen in my time in this place. And I must say, Madam Deputy Speaker, in looking at the agenda of the government over the first 2 weeks of this parliament and indeed the activities of the Prime Minister over summer, what electors in Deakin are seeing, what I think Australians are seeing, is a fundamental lack of focus from this government on the most pressing issue that Australians are now suffering from. Madam Deputy Speaker, we all know that Australians with mortgages, the millions of Australians with mortgages, are seeing and have seen interest rate rises, 9 consecutive rises, 8 consecutive rises since this government came to office. For a household with an average mortgage, an increase of $16,000 a year. We're seeing record inflation, the most recent figures of 7.8%, which highlight that the government has lost control of what is one of the most corrosive aspects of any economic situation. Madam Deputy Speaker, we see the Prime Minister over summer, all he wanted to do was talk about The Voice or hang out at the tennis. We see no urgency from this government on the most pressing issue that faces people every day. It faces them every time they go to the supermarket. There are Australians now who make decisions in the supermarket about what they go without. Parents who will go without themselves so they can provide for their children. We're seeing the consequences as well of a government that's broken its promises in relation to reducing power prices. The Prime Minister said on 97 occasions before the election that he would deliver a reduction of $275 a year. It wasn't a slip of the tongue once or twice. He said it 97 times. And at the very least, we're now seeing households not seeing increases of hundreds of dollars, but seeing increases of thousands of dollars. I had a constituent last week send me a letter that they'd received from their energy provider, and it read as follows: "Hello, and I won't say the name. As you may have heard, energy prices have been going up. On the 1st of February, your natural gas rates are going up. We understand this isn't the news you want to hear," and a whole lot of other flowery language. "We estimate that the new rates will cost you $602.74 more, including GST, a year." That's $600 a year more. And that's just gas. That doesn't also include electricity. So we're seeing inflation out of control, which is leading to higher mortgage interest rates, which again, for the average house, is $16,000 a year more out the door on their mortgages. We're seeing in every single good and service and product, staple products at supermarkets, rising with inflationary levels higher than they've been for 33 years. We're seeing power prices not only not going down by $275, as the Prime Minister promised on 97 occasions, but going up by thousands of dollars. So you would have thought that in returning to Parliament for the first fortnight of the year, that there would be an obsession from the government on these issues, an absolute focus on addressing these issues. But instead we see a Prime Minister seemingly unconcerned about the economic situation being faced by households in this country. A Prime Minister who's very self-satisfied, very pleased, very happy, enjoying the traps of office, enjoying nights at the tennis, hanging out with musicians, while Australians are doing it hard. This was a Prime Minister who said he'd show up. This is a Prime Minister who said he'd deliver $275 price reductions in power prices. This was a Prime Minister who said he'd deliver cheaper mortgages. So on every single measure, we're seeing a Labor Party and a government that I think is not only not showing the focus that is necessary, but is incapable of addressing these challenges. We know, and Australians have seen it before, you always pay more under Labor. The economy always tanks under Labor. Labor claim it's all a bit of hard luck and bad luck for them and bad timing. Bad luck seems to follow Labor, and Australians pay the price.
The question